Today, we're going to talk in detail about a topic we often see in green card applications, but that many people misunderstand: public charge. If you don't know me, my name is Ramu Kuren. I've been an immigration attorney in the US for more than 20 years. I'm here to break down the confusing parts of immigration law and explain them in plain language so you can make the right decisions for your case. What exactly is public charge? Which benefits fall under this category? How can it affect your application? And what are the most common misconceptions about it? I will walk you through everything step by step with clear examples. Let's get started. Let's begin with the definition. What is public charge? Public charge is when a person, after coming to the US, is likely to become dependent on government financial assistance for their basic living expenses. In green card applications, USCIS or the consular officer looks at whether you can support yourself financially without relying on public benefits. The main goal is to ensure the applicant will not become a long-term financial burden on the government. For USCIS or the consulate, this means deciding whether an applicant is primarily dependent on the government for subsistence. This can be shown through use of public cash assistance for income maintenance or long-term institutionalization at government expense. Why does USCIS consider public charge? This concept actually dates back to the 1800s. US immigration laws have long stated that people coming to the country should be able to support themselves and not rely on public resources. The same principle still applies today. The US government, especially in immigration visas and green card applications, wants to see whether the applicant is financially stable. What does USCIS consider in a public charge determination? USCIS reviews several factors, including your age. Very young or elderly applicants are assessed for their ability to work. Your health. Long-term medical conditions requiring ongoing care can be viewed as a financial risk. Your income and assets. Bank accounts, property, vehicles, and investments. Your education and work history. Your qualifications and employability. Your sponsor's financial situation. Some applications required a sponsor, such as green card applications for immediate family members. Income and tax returns listed in the I-864 Affidavit of Support form are important. Your past use of public benefits is important. If you have received public benefits in the US, this will be reviewed in detail. Which benefits count towards public charge? This is the question. Only public cash assistance for income maintenance and long-term institutionalization at government expense are considered. This includes supplemental security income, temporary assistance for needy families, which is TANF, state or local general assistance cash programs, long-term institutional care at government expense, like a nursing home or a mental health institution. It is important to know that not all public benefits are considered in the public charge test. So which benefits are not considered public charge? Most non-cash benefits are not considered. These include Medicaid, other than support for long-term institutional care, including public assistance for immunizations and for testing and treatment of symptoms of communicable diseases, health clinics, short-term rehabilitation services, and emergency medical services. Also not considered is health insurance through the Affordable Care Act or health coverage through WIC, Women, Infants, and Children Nutrition Program. SNAP or other food assistance are also not considered. Disaster relief is not considered, such as pandemic aid or aid after earthquakes or hurricanes. Certain health programs for children and pregnant women are exempt. Any benefits related to immunizations or testing for communicable diseases, housing benefits, attending public school, student loans and home mortgage loan programs, publicly funded scholarships and education grants, employment insurance are exempt. The list goes on, but the key factor is whether the benefit is long-term cash assistance for living expenses. Let's talk a little bit about common questions and misconceptions about the public charge. If I receive any public benefit, will it ruin my green card application? No. Only certain long-term cash assistance programs and long-term institutional care are considered for public charge. Most benefits like healthcare or COVID-19 vaccines, for example, do not count against you. If I use the public benefit once, does that mean my case will be denied? No. A single instance of benefit use does not automatically mean denial. USCIS looks at the totality of your circumstances, including your age, health, financial situation, skills, education, and whether you have a sponsor. If I have a sponsor, does public charge still apply to me? Having a sponsor who files a Form A64 is a strong positive factor, but it is not a guarantee. USCIS still reviews your overall situation. If the affidavit is missing or insufficient, your application can be denied. Some applicants may be eligible to file Form A64W instead, such as those with 40 qualifying quarters of work, certain children, VAWA self-petitioners, or widows of US citizens. Does it matter if my family members use public benefits? No. USCIS only considers benefits received directly by the applicant. Benefits used by US citizen or non-citizen family members do not count against your application. One of the biggest misconceptions is, are the green card holders subject to public charge, which most people think they are? No. Public charge determinations do not apply to green card renewals. They only apply when someone is seeking admission into the US as a green card holder or applying for adjustment of status to get a green card. So green card holders are not subject to public charge, and applicants for naturalization are not subject to public charge. Who is exempt from the public charge rule? Many categories are exempt, including refugees and asylees, Afghan and Iraqi interpreters and or nationals employed by the US government, Cuban and Haitian entrants, special immigrant juveniles, TPS applicants. TPS stands for temporary protected status, victims of trafficking or crime, which we call T visas or U visas, VAWA self-petitioners, certain Syrian nationals, certain American Indians, other categories under specific laws such as the Cuban Adjustment Act or Lautenberg Pro Lease. How do you avoid issues with public charge? To minimize any negative impact on your application, document your income and assets clearly. Make sure your sponsor's financial records are complete. If you have received benefits in the past, explain why and for how long. Provide proof of your health insurance. Complete all USCIS forms accurately and fully. It's also wise to consult an immigration attorney before applying to clarify any areas that could be misunderstood. Public charge is a criterion used in green card applications to assess an applicant's financial independence. The goal is to determine whether you can support yourself without relying on long-term public benefits. Not every benefit will harm your application, but long-term cash assistance will be reviewed closely. Prepare your documents thoroughly, clearly show your sponsor's financial ability, and seek professional guidance if needed. I also want to point out that public charge determinations are very political in nature. During the first administration, a lot of the items I covered today were going to be considered public charge because Trump wanted to expand the definition of the public charge, wanted to include almost all benefits provided by the state or federal governments as public charge. However, Biden administration went back to the old rule, and it is what we have today. In the upcoming months, years, this administration may again try to expand the nature of the public charge determination. So I advise my applicants to use caution when using these benefits. It's best if you don't use them, and use them if it's only required and as much as it's required. I hope this video has helped you better understand the public charge concept. If you have questions, leave a comment below or reach out to us. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. See you in the next video.